Hey everybody, welcome back. So I just finished up a react to Foodie, and wouldn't you know, she dropped another video. And this one has to do with doing a weigh-in and health updates. And I gotta tell y'all, watching this video, I had to go out into the garage and get a crowbar to unstick my eyes from the back of my head because I was just rolling my eyes just that hard. uh, Just a bunch of nonsense, absolute nonsense, and it's put me in a real snarky mood. So please don't expect this react to be nice. I'm not in the mood. I'm just not in the mood to be nice to Foodie today. I'm sick of the BS. I'm sick of the lies. I'm sick of her just saying she's struggling. She's struggling so much. What a bunch of nonsense. And if it weren't for YouTube, I'd be saying a bunch of profanity right now. I'm trying to control my mouth. I just feel like just letting loose, but maybe I'll do that later. But I want to go over some brief stuff on Twitter and then we'll go over the video and you guys can see all the nonsense for yourselves because it's the same old crap. Why are you lying, Foodie? Why are you lying to yourself? Why are you lying to the audience? And by the way, I do not like the tone in the video. I really don't like it. You're coming on camera and you're using that soft voice, that soft caring voice. Are you using the soft caring voice because you want people to feel sorry for you? You're trying to get everybody to feel sorry for you having all your health problems. Are you trying to get people on your side because your mouth has been getting you in so much trouble lately? You've got Marty looking at you. You got everybody looking at you sideways. You're losing subs. You're losing views. You're trying to stop the bleeding by putting on the nice act with everybody because I ain't buying it. I'm not buying what you're selling. I won't buy it now and I won't buy it later. And I don't think anybody else is going to buy it either because all of your lies and all of your nonsense, they're spoiled, they're rancid, and they're rotten, and nobody should be buying them for any price. So let's just go over this stuff on Twitter, y'all. There's not that much to go over. We'll cover it briefly. Told you, I'm in a snarky mood. I just don't care. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't care. I just don't care. Spicy Rose is out. Okay, so Michael B. Petty says the only thing that has changed in Foodie Beauty's world is the wardrobe and the scenery. She is still the same toxic, delusional, impulsive, hateful liar she's always been. Yep, absolutely. Completely agree with you, Michael. You can put her in different clothes, but she's still the same person underneath the clothes. Shenanigans says, for us Americans, according to Chantal, she has only gained around 7 pounds. She's blaming a bunch of different factors, including her inhaler because it's a steroid, and her recently quitting the Shisha, which has made her eat more. So, this is the weight that Chantal is telling everybody she's at 370 pounds. Here's the thing, y'all. She was about, I believe, 374 pounds, 377, back when she was with her ex-boyfriend, BB, and that was years ago. And she was a lot smaller then. Anybody who watches any of her videos at the time when she was with BB, which was at the beginning of her channel, and you look at her now, clearly she's gained a lot more weight. I don't know why, but Chantal is absolutely obsessed with being in the 300s. She will never come on camera and say, oh, I'm 420 pounds, or I'm 450, or 400 pounds. It's always in the 300s somewhere. I don't know what the obsession is with the 300s. Maybe she wants to stay in the 300s because that's the weight she was at when she started her channel. And in her mind, she's not gained any weight. Trust me, Chantal, you've gained a lot of weight. You've lost a lot of your mobility. You've lost a lot of your health. And that's your own doggone fault because you decided to trade 100% of your health for profit. You sold every bit of your health for paychecks. Well, how's that working out for you? Not too well, I'm afraid. You can't even take a 10-minute walk on the beach without huffing and puffing. So this is from Malarkey Meter. Latest weigh-in from Foodie Beauty. She claims she's up to 377 pounds and has now quit the shisha. She says she's hypertensive, asthmatic, morbidly obese, and has untreated mental health issues. She claims she's just stubborn. Dude, it's called being a spoiled brat. So we're back at day one. So all these problems are going on. She's coming on camera talking about them. My question is, Foodie, what are you doing about them? What are you doing about these problems? Are you going to the doctor? Are you getting a full checkup from tip to tail, inside and out? Are you having all your problems looked at? Are you doing anything to better your health other than going on camera and exploiting them for views and for money? You've been on YouTube for years and you're always eager to come on camera and talk about your problems and, oh, I'm in pain and I'm suffering and this problem and that problem and the problem beside that. But you're not interested in treating the problems. You're not interested in healing the hurts. You're interested in exploiting them for monetary gain. You want the pain to continue. Obviously, you do because you're not doing anything to make any of those pains better. So don't come on camera and expect sympathy from anybody when you are at ground zero for treating the problems. If anybody can change you, it's you. If anybody can heal you, it's you. You're going to be the one to care first. You come on camera, you talk to your audience, you talk to your VIPs, you talk to everybody. Oh, this is going on, that's going on. Okay, and what are you doing? What are you doing to fix any of it? If you're not willing to fix yourself, don't expect sympathy from your audience because you're the first line of defense and change, bar none. None of us can do anything to help you. You got to help you. All right, so that's the weigh in 377 pounds, which is, I'm sorry, it's nonsense. It's a lie. She's not 377. She's messing with the scale over there. She's at least 100 pounds, maybe even 150 pounds heavier. So add another 100 pounds to that, and you probably got the correct weight. Anybody that thinks I'm lying, here's what you can do. If you think I'm lying, go back to the beginning of her channel. Find videos of when she was with BB because that was the last true, honest weigh-in that she did. She was with BB. She got on a scale. She pointed her camera down at the scale, and you saw the number 377 pounds. That was the last true weigh-in, was years ago. Every other weigh-in since then, she's always messed around with the scale. But she was a lot smaller then. You can look at her then, and you can look at her now, and you can tell she's gained a lot of weight. About 100, maybe 150 pounds heavier than what she was then. So how can you be at the same weight or smaller now as you were 5 years ago, Foodie? There's just no way. There's no way. Listen, if you're gonna lie to people, at least tell a lie that makes sense. There is no way, madam, that you can sit there and consume 2 or 3,000 calories at a time per meal and be at 377 pounds. No, no, no. You're over there wearing the biggest size abayas that Kuwait has to offer to the point where you have to have custom abayas made for you. So if that's true, how are you 377 pounds? Make that make sense. It really doesn't make sense. The math ain't mathin'. Michael B. Petty says Foodie Beauty is the same woman that was in and out of the hospital for pulmonary embolism. She isn't going to change a doggone thing. This isn't a shock. This is her farming sympathy in hopes of changing the downward trend of views and subs. That's true. That's absolutely true. Speaking of subs and all that, one moment, everybody. I'm going to look something up. Something I'm curious about that I forgot to pull up. I'm going to Social Blade because I'm nosy and curious about what her Social Blade looks like right now. Because as you guys know, she's lost a lot of subs, a lot. And I'm wondering how many more she's lost or if she's bought subs. Oh, yeah, she did. She bought more subs. Of course she did. Okay, so where are we? I know you guys love these kind of updates. Very happy to give them to you. So there's her Social Blade page. Doggone it. All right, so where are we, what are we looking at? All right, you guys can see the dates right here. And just for context, there's her picture so you guys know it's her page. All right. So she bought 300 subs right here. And then she lost, 900 subs. Look at that. 100, 600, 200, 900 subs gone, foodie. And look what we have here. Oh, look at this. She bought another 100. Yeah, she does buy subs. She went down, she was at 94K. She dipped down to 93K, so she bought an extra 100 to get back up to 94K. That's another thing, foodie. Curious. What is your obsession with staying at 94K? Like, does that really make a difference in your presence on YouTube? You are obsessed with keeping your numbers up, even though you're losing money, you're not making money anymore. You're obsessed with your sub number. I'm curious. Is it an ego thing? I think it's an ego thing. So that's it for the Social Blade update. Let's go back over to Twitter and continue with that. Then we'll get on to the video where she's just telling a bunch of lies to herself and everybody else. Michael B. Petty says Foodie Beauty weighed in at 377 pounds. It's the same old song and dance. She will try for max 72 hours and go right back to eating fast food 3 times a day while dwelling in her cave. Yep, because that's what happens when you got a problem with food and you're not receiving any kind of therapy, you're not learning any different kind of coping mechanisms, coping skills, finding ways to get your mind off of food, you'll go right back to your old habits. She's in trouble right now. She's in the crosshairs of Marty, and she put herself there with her big mouth. So she got in trouble and she effed around and found out, and now she's trying to get people back on her side because a lot of people are leaving her channel and not spending money anymore. So it's like she's putting forth that image of good foodie in front of the public. When she gets in trouble, that's what she does to try to save herself. All right, so that's it for all this stuff on Twitter. Let's go over to the video that made me roll my eyes in the back of my head. So get ready for you. Your eyes are going to roll too. So here we go, y'all. Y'all ready? Get ready. All right, let's do this.
But we were pretty busy yesterday and out pretty late. So, hi guys, assalamu alaikum.
Hello. Oh no. Let's cut out that part. I don't want her cameo ad. No, get out of here. Bye. Okay, we'll start from here.
Did anything yesterday, but we were pretty busy yesterday and out pretty late, so I didn't get around to doing anything. And we also had dinner out and everything, so I didn't do a mukbang. So I want to share a weigh-in with you. Today is August 13th, 2023.
Okay, so my question to you, Foodie, is like, I watched you step on this scale. Why didn't you step on the scale, like put both feet on and stay there? Because what you did right here is very sus to me. You stepped on the scale and then you stepped off really quickly and then you put both feet back on. Was that to mess with the number? Maybe. Look, she steps off the scale.
Let's do this.
Then she steps right back on.
Then. Oh my gosh.
There's no way. There's no way. She's saying that the last weigh-in in June, she weighed 168 kilograms. So June, July, August. She's saying that in 3 months, she only gained 3 pounds. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you serious? You actually think people are going to believe that all the food you've been eating, all the calories you've been tossing down your throat, you only gained 3 pounds? Who do you think we are? Do you think the people in the audience are stupid? Do you really think that we're stupid? Ma'am, you've been gaining a lot of weight. Your mobility is crap. So you're trying to tell all of us that right now you are at a lower weight than what you were at than when you first started your channel. You were smaller then, you had more mobility, your breathing wasn't as labored, you didn't have as many health problems, but you're expecting us to believe you're at a lower weight now than you were then, even though you've got much more labored breathing, your mobility sucks, you're basically busting out of your clothes. You're trying to claim that you're lower in weight now than you were then with all this stuff going on. Why are you lying? Why do you continue to lie? It's making me angry how disingenuous you are. You're coming on camera saying I'm on a health journey and I'm caring about my health and all these health problems. You're putting on this picture of I'm trying to be honest with you guys. I'm revealing my health problems when you're really not. You're just trying to elicit a sympathetic response. And you're trying to get a sympathetic response by continuing to lie when it's obvious that you're lying. Sorry, I have no sympathy for liars.
171.3 kg. So my weight is just creeping and creeping.
Gee, I wonder why it's creeping up. I wonder why it's creeping up. It has nothing to do with you sitting down and eating an entire pizza by yourself, would it? No, couldn't be that. Uh, and it couldn't be because you eat a bunch of food right before bed and then go straight to sleep. No, no, it can't. No, it can't be that either. No, 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 no. It can't be the junk food either. No, no, no. That's not it. I'm sure it's something. Maybe it is the shisha. The shisha's to blame. The steroids are to blame. Can't be the food. Can't be that at all. Even though if you are 400 pounds or 500 pounds, it takes a certain amount of calories just to maintain a certain amount of weight. And if you're gaining weight, that means you're not only eating that amount of calories, but more. But tell us your version of why you're gaining weight, Foodie. I'm interested to know.
That's why I just wanted to do a weight update with you guys. So it's no surprise that I've been struggling with my weight and keeping my eating under control and just.
You're not keeping it under control. And the only struggle that you've had with your weight is struggling to find ways to disguise how big you're getting. You're struggling to find abayas that fit. You're struggling to find filters that cover up the weight gain in your face. You're struggling to find ways to hide what's going on versus ways to fix the problem. It's all about hiding the problem, running from the problem, escaping from the problem versus fixing it. The simplest solution is usually the best one. And the simplest solution is, hey, if I solve the problem, it won't be a problem anymore. And if I solve it, I don't have to worry about covering anything up. I don't have to worry about filters. I don't have to worry about custom made abayas and hijabs. But you've never been that person that you're all about taking the simple path. You always make things harder than what it has to be. Let's go completely around the corner and down the block when all you got to do is walk down the doggone street.
Just letting everything, collapse. I'm going to try again uh, to get back on track. Um,
How are you going to do that? How are you going to get back on track? Do you have a plan? You sit in that apartment all day. You have nothing to do. You have no one to talk to. You have no hobbies. You have no interests because you have no social life over in Kuwait. You have no circle of friends. You're a complete shut in. You spend all of your time cruising around on YouTube and TikTok and Twitter looking to see what people are saying. You have nothing to take your attention off of food. You get bored. And not only do you get bored, you're miserable. And how do you soothe yourself, foodie? You eat. You use food as medicine for all your problems when it's the worst kind of medicine, because when you abuse that kind of medicine, it just makes you sick. And it's been making you sick. I've been reacting to you for a long time. Things have never been this bad. Even when you were in Canada, they were never this bad. You sit in that apartment, you go nowhere, you do nothing but eat. You get on YouTube and you're monetizing your problem. And you look for people to join your channel, to surround you and give you reinforcement of whatever kind. And that just prompts you to become worse. You're not interested in solving your hurts. You're interested in talking about them and exploiting them. And so the toxic cycle continues.
even though I'm not on track for very long, I'm going to try again and again. And I'm going to really watch what I eat because, like I said, have a bit of a health scare with some of my numbers. So I do really, really want to.
What numbers? What numbers do you mean? Be more specific. What numbers? You just got on the scale and said, oh, I'm 377 pounds. That means your numbers haven't gone up by that much. So, what numbers are you talking about?
Reduce that, especially my blood pressure. I was not put on any blood pressure medication or anything like that, but I do have to go back at some point. And if my blood pressure is high again, I might have to. So I really want to reduce that before I have to go back for another checkup. And I'm hoping that with continuing the light exercise for now and staying away from really salty fried foods, which for somebody who loves pickles and cheese, that's really bad news. But I mean, I really, really, really have to value my life over pickles and cheese. I mean, it's time.
You know what, Foodie? Your body is a living miracle. I don't know what is going on with you, but it just feels like you are punishing your body for something that it did wrong. You're always punishing your body. I don't know why, but you are. You sit there and you're continuously eating junk, shoving sodium and sugar and carbs down your throat in massive amounts. It's almost like you're mad at your body and you're punishing it for something. And the fact that you haven't had a serious medical emergency is amazing. It's really trying to keep you alive. You're not helping it at all. And I'm sure you do have high blood pressure. You eat nothing but junk all day long, sugar all day long. You're not helping it out. But you know what? You keep pressing on the way you are, you might end up in the hospital.
Because it goes without saying, no type of food is worth your life, and that's 100% true. And I mean, these are problems that, if left untreated and not acknowledged.
You know what's funny is that she's talking like she cares about her health, but many people have told her. There are people in her chat saying, "Foodie, slow down. You're going to end up in the hospital." Do you know what her response was? "Oh, well, I don't care. I just want to eat. I just want a bees." She said that with her whole chest. I just want a bees. I just want to eat. She wants to do what she wants to do, and she doesn't like the idea of any kind of restriction. She doesn't even like her own body telling her no. Like when she's sitting down to eat a meal and she gets that full feeling in her stomach, and her stomach is saying, "We're full. We've had enough." She won't stop. She'll continue to eat. It's like she's rebelling against her own body. Like, you're, even though you're my body, you're not going to tell me what to do. I'm going to continue to eat. Just defiant, not even paying attention to her body cues, like when enough is enough.
They can be fatal in the long term.
No kidding.
I really obviously don't want that. I have a lot I want to do in my life, and I'm really starting to feel just really over it and sad that I can't do certain things that I want to do. Um, I'm starting to feel like I have kind of cabin fever of my own body. Like I feel trapped and I just want to be let out and just be able to do a lot of things that I can't do now. So I know my channel's been a roller coaster, and
Well, Foodie, I've been saying for the longest, if you want to put things in perspective, let me help you. You're 5 feet tall. I'm 5'3". I haven't stepped on a scale in a while, but I'm somewhere around 130 pounds. You are over 500 pounds when you should be somewhere in the neighborhood of, say, I don't know, 110, 120. I'm not quite sure what a healthy weight for somebody shorter than me would be, but for me, at being 5'4", it's recommended that I'm 115, 120. So I'm close to where I should be. But if you're 5 feet tall, and if your target weight, your healthy weight should be, I would say 115, 120, that means because you carry so much of your weight in the front of you, you are literally carrying the weight of one or maybe even two grown adults in the front of your body. Just think about that. You're shorter than I am. You're a shorty like me. But the amount of weight that you're carrying in your stomach, weight that you cannot put down, weight that stays attached to you, you're carrying the weight of one, maybe even two grown adults in the front of your body. And I can only imagine how painful that must be. It's not healthy to carry that much weight on you. It hurts your back, it hurts everything. because of you carrying all that weight in the front of your body. I'm sure it's hard to breathe. I'm sure it's hard to move. You're paying the price for not giving a crap about your health for so long. Question is, what are you going to do to fix it? What do you want to do?
My life has been a huge mess. Um, and through all of that, I've had a lot of support from people. I've lost support over the, along the way, which, I totally understand that. So for those of you who continue to support me on this journey, through just watching my videos really, really helps, makes a difference. And
You know what? I'm seeing through all this right now. This is caring, compassionate, empathetic foodie. And do you know why she's acting this way? Because foodie has arrived at a place where once upon a time, she used to make hundreds of dollars in super chats every time she went live. I remember the days when she would go live and have over 1,000 people in her room, no matter what time of the day or night she streamed. And she would get super chats hand over fist. And she would get memberships hand over fist. And because she was rolling in abundance of money, it made her arrogant and it made her mean and nasty. She would come onto her lives and tell her own members, I don't care if you quit, there'll be more people to replace you if you leave. She would tell people that they didn't matter. She didn't care about them. She honestly came on that way. She often berated her own members, talked down to them, embarrassed them, humiliated them. Now a lot of people are canceling their memberships because they're afraid. Because Music Biz Marty said that people who are VIBs, they're part of the problem because they're supporting Chantal and adding to her issues. So a lot of people who are VIBs don't want to be VIBs. They're canceling their memberships. And that hurts her bottom line. And Chantal, I'm sure, has noticed that. She's noticed the numbers as far as her sub numbers going down. I'm sure she has taken notice of the amount of members that have also left. Whenever she gets in trouble, whenever she starts to lose money, this version of Foodie comes out of the closet. The extremely nice, extremely courteous, polite Foodie shows up. This version, you never see her unless she gets in trouble or she is in trouble.
And cheering me on. I will continue to make this content for you. So I really want to aim to keep up with, going out with Salah just for some exercise, different things, maybe some mall walks. There's a lot of markets here that would be really cool to show you guys.
You know what, Foodie? You're sitting perfectly still. You're not doing anything. And I'm listening to you. You are out of breath, just sitting still, talking to the camera. Go back to your old content, to the very beginnings of your channel, and look at your videos and listen to yourself and look at yourself the way you looked then, the way you sounded then. You didn't sound this out of breath. You weren't this out of breath. You were in the 300s then. You were able to walk around. You had more mobility. You weren't ashamed of your appearance. That is not the person you are now. But you're sitting here, sitting perfectly still, out of breath. Your body is giving you signs that you're in trouble. The big question is, are you going to pay attention? Are you going to take it seriously? Or are you going to be the biggest fool in the world and ignore it and continue doing what you're doing and exploiting your problems versus healing your problems until everything falls down on top of you.
The problem is I've been wanting to do that for so long, but the problem is that these markets are actually quite large as well as the malls. I think the Avenues Mall is like the largest mall in the Middle East. So it goes without saying that that for me is very exhausting. I am hypertensive. I have carry a lot of my weight in my abdomen. I'm severely obese. I have asthma that I take a steroid inhaler for. Um, Speaking of which, I did at least one good thing is I did quit the shisha, which in the past few days has led me to eat a little more than I would have liked, actually. Um, so, because I don't have that shisha in the evening to.
Well, other people have said this, and so I'll say it too. I think you've got that hand to mouth thing. You've got an oral fixation. You always got to be doing something with your mouth, whether it's eating or doing the shisha. Like you just got that oral fixation situation happening. You've always got to be sticking something in your mouth when you're doing a video or you're doing a live. So you smoke or you eat. You got to break that habit.
Kind of distract me from eating. So I've been eating in place of the shisha. Um, so but I have to quit that because that is really.
You, you know, I will say this in your slight defense, Chantal. People who smoke cigarettes, is there a chance that when you try to stop smoking, that you will gain weight? Yes, because nicotine, it curbs the appetite. And also you get used to having a cigarette in your mouth. So you got that oral fixation going on a little bit. And for that reason, you might eat a little more. You might gain a little weight. But you can't blame the shisha for massive amounts of weight gain. Not when you're sitting there putting thousands of calories down your throat in one sitting. No, it's the food. It's not the shisha, it's the food.
At the time that you're smoking it, it doesn't make me cough like cigarettes do, and it's very flavorful. It's less irritating because of the water apparatus. But in the end, it's still tobacco, right? So
And I'm still kind of honestly, I am confused. Foodie's over here saying that she's got asthma and she needs an inhaler. So where I'm getting stuck in my head is how can somebody who has asthma to the point where they need an inhaler, how can they sit there and smoke the shisha like she's been smoking it? Because as I understand it, smoking a shisha is equal to what, 90 cigarettes? If you have asthma, how can you get away with that and how can you do that? Like I would think there'd be some serious problems as a result from, that intense session of smoking. Because like I said, it's not just you're not just smoking one cigarette, you're smoking tobacco that's equal to 90 cigarettes.
um, I've had blood clots in my lungs.
Yeah, and another thing about that. So you've had pulmonary embolisms, blood clots in your lungs. Should you be smoking at all? Should you be putting that shisha in your mouth? If you've had blood clots in your lungs, absolutely not. What kind of a maniac are you that you've had pulmonary embolisms in your lungs and you should be on blood thinners and you're over there smoking the shisha like it owes you rent money? Come on, girl.
So, I mean, my lungs are already pretty compromised, so I have to do everything I can to be nice to them. So, I'm kicking the shisha. out the door. I have kicked the shisha out the door, and I haven't smoked since I did that. Um, Maybe next update I'll tell you when I actually quit. I have to check the calendar. I don't even keep track of the days. I've never been a person to like keep track of the days. So, I
I'm watching her face. She keeps looking down a lot. Chantal, you like to lie, but you're not a good liar. You really suck at it. You've got several tells about when you're lying. And when somebody is looking at another person or even at a camera, and if they're speaking truthfully, you will look a person in the eye. Now, obviously, there's not a person there. You're looking at the camera. But if you are speaking truthfully, then you would have no problem looking at your camera and speaking directly to the camera and not looking away. You keep looking away. Your eyes are everywhere but the camera. That's a tell that you're lying. Why are you coming on camera acting like you're opening up and you're being honest when you're doing everything but being honest? What is the point in this?
keep telling Salah, I need an agenda. I need an agenda. And he knows me well already. We've only been together, 7 months, but he knows me so well. It's like, you're not going to use it. You don't even keep track of the days. So he's pretty much my calendar. Um, yeah. So organization has never been my strong suit. I have always said that. Um, Old habits die hard. I need to get into a productive, healthy routine. That's basically what I'm saying at the end of the day. And
So how are you going to do that? How are you going to get into a healthy routine if you're not in the right environment to back it up? You can't heal in the same environment that you hurt in. That's just facts. If you are in an environment or around people that back up your hurt and keep it going, how can you possibly fix the problems? In your case, Chantal, you're in Kuwait. You're sitting in that apartment. You're not getting therapy. You have a person there that, what do they do for you? You had them go get you food. They go get your fast food. They bring it to you. Or you just push a button on a phone and you order food from an app so the fast food is brought to you. You're bored silly. There's nothing to do in Kuwait except eat and think about food and order more food. How can you possibly heal that hurt being in that environment? You can't.
and the first step actually was to improve my mental health. And one of the big ways I'm doing that is just trying to work on releasing a lot of anger, a lot of negativity in my life. And I've actually wanted to say this. I've been just, I have,
Releasing a lot of anger, releasing a lot of sadness, but she doesn't go into detail how that's happening. Is she talking to a therapist? Is she going to therapy sessions? Because I don't hear that. She should be talking to somebody and working out her issues around food or whatever it is that's going on inside of her. She'll run at the speed of light to get a food app and order food, but she avoids therapy. She's running to the wrong medicine, using food as the medicine versus going to therapy that could actually help her.
had such a big mouth and talking negatively about people. And I'm actually really sorry for that. I don't want to ever go there. Like I really want.
Wait, 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 wait. Back it up, back it up, back it up. I have a big mouth and I talk negatively about people. Is this in reference to Music Biz Marty? You running your mouth about Music Biz Marty? and you effed around and you found out because everybody warned you. Everybody warned you, Chantal. Everybody warned you. That's him and his community. You don't want to mess with them. They love to troll and they do not have the same rules as Girl World. Everybody warned you. You stepped in a big pile of it and you kept stepping in bigger piles after that. You did a video insulting Marty, insulting his community, making threats when everybody told you to shut up. You started that whole thing and you kept it going. Even after a few things happened, you kept leaning into things versus backing away. And then when it got to the point where, you know, some of your VIBs started to feel the backlash of your negative actions, it wasn't until they started backing away that you decided to shut your mouth a little bit. You've been riding on your high horse too long and somebody finally knocked you off.
Want to be a person who just spreads kindness and positivity. And I noticed that in this community, it's really, really, really toxic. Having fun is one thing, but I think a lot of people, including myself, have just lost track of what the goal here is to do. It's just to entertain people. And that's what I want to get back to.
She don't care. She don't care about entertaining people. She's never cared. All she cares about, y'all, is being on YouTube and getting a paycheck. And she thinks it's the biggest joke in the world that she can get on YouTube, order some food, turn on her camera, sit down and eat the food, turn off the camera, upload the video, and she makes money basically doing nothing. She knows that's as much as she has to do, so that's all she does. She doesn't try to come up with any kind of ideas for entertaining content, new ideas for new intros or outro videos or anything. It's all about the bare basic minimum. The bare basic minimum of what she can get away with. How little can she do to make money? She's not an entertainer. She doesn't know how to entertain. Let's be real. If Chantal were just an ordinary person, same as anybody else on the street, if she were not gross and vulgar, if YouTube came to her tomorrow and said, Chantal, you can have your channel, but there's a caveat here. You are not allowed to eat on camera anymore. Food cannot be part of your content. She wouldn't know what to do. If YouTube said to her, you can do other content, but you can't show your naughty bits, you can't eat on camera, you can't talk about food, you can't show food, she would not know what to do. She wouldn't be able to switch gears and do something different. Her whole identity is wrapped in food. She would literally just be at a dead stop. If you took food out of the identity, she wouldn't know how to cope.
And I really, really, really just want to, despite everything going on, I just want to wish everyone good health and good mental health and no ill will. I really hope that, everything just simmers down a bit and everyone is healthy and takes care of themselves. So that being said, that's helped a lot. Also, just going back to, um, the Quran and putting my faith back in consistent prayer and in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and just, back to my faith. My hamster's drinking water and rummaging around. So yeah, I hope everyone is doing well, and I thank you for being here and watching this video if you are. Um, I will plan on having an exercise video out later. I do really want to, I have the support of Salah, which is he's an amazing person. I can't say that enough. In this relationship, he's very supportive.
You know, Salah, you're a jerk. But knowing Foodie's history with how she treats animals, it gives me a little bit of comfort knowing that you're around, which means there's a chance that Julia is getting more food and more care than if Foodie had her by herself. I don't trust Foodie with the cat by herself. So I'm glad that you're there, and maybe because of that, she might be getting better care.
And I know a lot of people think just because, I do these mukbangs and you don't really see him saying much on camera, he does, it doesn't mean he doesn't say anything offline. And um, at the end of the day, I'm the only person responsible for my actions. I'm responsible for what I put in my mouth, and I'm very stubborn. Like, I have to really put my faith in him to, um, I have to, learn to just not be so stubborn and petulant and, like, um, for example, like when it's time for dinner, sometimes that impulse in me and those old habits, I know it might happen. I'm going to try really hard not to, but like I want pizza, you know. So if I want him on board with this support and hold me accountable, I have to follow through with that myself.
Foodie, I'm gonna tell you something that's very, very blunt, and I don't care if you get offended. He's a younger man. You're an older woman, and you're a mess. And those of us that are older women, we don't claim you. Because you got older women who are put together, know what to do, know what's going on, can stand up for themselves. And then you got the messy older women that they're just a hot mess in a black dress, and that would be you. You're in that category. He's a younger man. That's what you wanted. You wanted a attractive younger man. You wanted that for the sake of your ego. You were thinking about the optics. You wanted your fantasy. You wanted the fantasy of a somewhat in shape younger man. So you got Salah. But you're an older woman. You don't take care of yourself. You're not interested in taking care of yourself. You're interested in having a partner that you can turn into a caretaker, a full time caretaker to help you with everything and be there for you to do everything for you. You want to be a burden to the person that you're with. You turned yourself into a burden. And you have to know that because you have been so unwilling to help yourself and get yourself together, you become a burden to Salah. You've made his life unhappy. He's unhappy with you. He can't go anywhere with you. He can't do anything with you. Heck, you can't even do things by yourself. You have put yourself in such a state that you literally cannot be alone. You have to have somebody there to look after you. You can't walk down a street because what if you fall over? You can't go to the store by yourself because it's too hot outside and you can't walk around very long. You got yourself to that state where you cannot do things for yourself. You become a burden. when you didn't used to be a burden, you used to do things for yourself. But you wanted this younger man as your partner. And you're talking about traveling around and doing things with him. What in the world is he supposed to do with you? You're a drag. You're almost 40 years old and you're a drag. You dream about traveling the world and doing things, but yet you can only do them in your head because physically you got yourself to a state where you cannot do those things in the real. So you do those things in your head. You dream about them, you think about them, but that's as far as it goes. And you're not willing to help yourself get to a state where you can take the stuff out of your head and do them for real. You're expecting this younger man who has no emotional attachment to you to be your full time caretaker and be happy with it. Trust me, he's not happy. He's not happy at all. You're not happy with yourself. He's not happy with you. And yet you're not fixing the problem.
So it's very hard, and I have to do it. I want to be here to do all these great things that I really want to do. I want to see the world with Salah. We both really want to do that, and he can do it. Anytime he's in shape, and so I don't want to hold us back.
I'm just going to say this to that. As long as Salah stays with Chantal, as long as she feels there's no threat, if there's no real reason to change, she won't change. If Salah left her and said, "Look, I'm not coming back until you fix yourself, until you get on a path to where you're honestly fixing yourself," that might prompt her to change. As long as he's there by her side, she's not going to change. She's not going to break this toxic routine. She's going to continue on the way that she's been doing. She's been promising Salah for months, "Yeah, we're going to travel. Yes, I'm going to lose weight." Has it happened yet? No. Is it going to happen? No. Because as long as he is there, she's getting away with getting her own way. So if he put his foot down and said, "Look, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go live my life. I'm going to go be a young man. You get yourself together, and then maybe later on we can talk." That might prompt her to change. She's got to realize that people are not going to put up with her toxic behavior, her toxic traits, her toxic patterns. That if she wants certain things in her life, she's going to have to work for them.
Any longer for that. So, and a big part of that is realizing, having self awareness that that's what I'm doing by not addressing these issues every day, just putting them off, because chances are, if you're not going to start something today, you're not going to do it tomorrow either. That I've learned for sure. Um, but I enjoy the exercise with him, like when we went to the desert.
No, you didn't. See, that's another lie you're telling. You did not enjoy that. You didn't even walk a full 10 minutes. And you were purposely stopping every 2 minutes just to catch your breath because you were ready to pass out. You did not enjoy that. You didn't enjoy it. Just say the truth. Try truth, foodie. It comes out so much nicer out of your mouth than a lie. It's so much easier to say. When you tell the truth, you don't have to come up with a million lies to cover up the first lie. Just say, "Hey, that walk on the beach sucked. It sucked. It hurt. I was in pain. I was uncomfortable." It's okay to speak the truth. Start being honest for a change. Get out of that habit of lying. You can be honest and say, look, I'm 500 pounds and that walk really sucked. It was painful. My leg was hurting. I was dragging my leg behind me. Just say the truth.
You know, I love the desert. I find it calm. I haven't been at like night. I did when we went camping. It was nighttime. It's very calm, quiet. The desert has a quietness about it that I don't know. Um, I was hoping to see camels, but apparently they were not out. I mean, you know, maybe they were sleep teasing. So, but I'm gonna do like I think the heat is too much stress on me right now. So I think I'm gonna,
If you listen, foodie, if you got yourself some therapy, real therapy, started to learn some different coping mechanisms and coping skills and self control with the food, started to unwind that ball of crap in your head that food is wrapped up in. If you found something to fixate on besides food, if you cut down your portion sizes, started to eat correctly, and stop focusing so much on the doggone carbs, take your calorie intake from 4 or 5,000 calories a day, say down to 1,200 or something, you would start to lose weight. And then once you start to lose weight, you'll be able to deal with the heat a lot better. You're not dealing with it well because you are super morbidly obese.
just exercise in the building. It's air conditioned everywhere. So I do have a lot of stairs in this building, and I have my trusty exercise mat. I can do walking in place. There's a lot of 10 to 15 minute at home exercises that are perfect for beginners. And I can do some stretches and just, I'm doing this to build my stamina. I know that weight loss, starts with what you put in your mouth, but the
Yep.
exercise does help, even if you burn 50 calories.
Yeah, but the thing is, have you had a full checkup? You need to go to a doctor and get a full checkup. I know that scares the crap out of you. I know that you've been avoiding a full checkup because you're over in Kuwait. And if you went to the doctors there, Salah's going to find out everything that's wrong with you. He's going to know because the doctors are going to tell him. But you need to know so you know what your body can do right now, what's safe to do. Like, what's your lung capacity? Like, can you do low impact aerobics or not? You need to know these things.
You know, it's the stamina, it's getting the cardiovascular going, it's getting everything blood pumping. I'm just too sedentary. It's not doing me any extra favors. So that's my plan with it. Yeah. So I really, to hold myself accountable, I want to have one of those videos every day, either here on our couples channel. Because honestly, the couples channel, when we do activities, if you haven't checked out our channel, check it out. We have all kinds of things. I know you guys like to laugh at the ATV, and I was, believe it or not, it was scary, but it was fun. It was fun, even though I was going like 0.5 miles an hour. Um, I don't mind people laugh at that. That it is funny. But I just and doing things like walking in Al Shahid Park when we visited the biggest urban park here in
I'm just going to ask the question, if you want to go walking, why not get a treadmill and set it up inside the house? I mean, they're not that hard to find. You can order one from Amazon. Find a treadmill, set it up inside the house, and that way, if you want to take a walk, you can walk there in your house in private with the air conditioning. You can walk as much or as little as you want. That'd be a great way to build up your stamina.
Kuwait when we did the towers. That museum was huge. That's a lot of walking, but you don't realize it when you're doing things that are fun. So, doing activities on the couples channel, we want to get back to that. And that's why we've kind of been taking a hiatus on it.
No, 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 no. The reason why you've been taking a hiatus from the couples channel is because the couples channel really doesn't make much money for you. You guys have been focusing on your main channel and you making food videos because that's the real meat and potatoes of the income. The couples channel is nothing compared to your main channel. So since you want to make money and he wants you to make money for him, he's been having you do the food videos every day. That's why.
It is because I just haven't been in shape to do it, and it's been so hot. Even at night, it's just
Foodie, before you went to Kuwait, you were in Canada and you would make constant excuses about why you couldn't exercise. It'd be too hot and then it was too cold. Oh, there's snow outside. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. Let me tell you something. Where there's a will, there's a way. If you want to exercise and it's in the dead of winter, you can put on a YouTube video and exercise inside your house. Same thing for spring or summer when it's hot. Get a freaking treadmill or put on a YouTube video and exercise to that. If you want to do something, you'll find a way to do it. You'll create a path if there is none. And if you don't want to, then you'll avoid it altogether. It's just that simple.
it's stifling. It's you walk out and you're just like I said, face hugger. It's just so warm. It's uncomfortable for me, you know. If you're dressed head to toe too, and I mean, I'm not complaining because I wear this and I'm fine, but at the same
And nope, everybody's told you you don't have to wear the abaya. You can get away with wearing something much more loose, much more casual and comfortable as long as you're dressed modestly. It's not a problem. You're choosing to wear the abaya. You're doing it by choice.
time, it is hot. I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to uh, put out those videos. Yes. And probably do some kind of vlog. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I just want to bring you guys along on the journey because you know what? Being online and has been pretty stressful sometimes. But
You made it stressful. You made it stressful. Could you get online and just do videos where you're eating your food? Of course you could. Here's the problem. You have an anger problem. And you have another problem with always wanting attention. And what you love the most is negative attention. You have a nasty habit of running around and kicking a hornet's nest just for fun. And you ran around girl world for the longest, kicking various hornet's nests because you wanted that negative attention. And you always relied on, girl world having certain lines they wouldn't cross. But then you ran into a different community of people that don't have the same lines and rules, and you kicked that hornet's nest pretty good. And they came out stinging at you. And then you realized what a mistake that was. Now you're trying to walk it all the way back and put on a different image and come on camera all apologetic and sympathetic. And I'm such a good person now, and I'm really going to try. You're bleeding subs left and right to the point where you're having to buy subs every now and again to replace the ones that are lost. You're not getting that much in the way of super chats. Your super chats anymore are a joke. Your members are leaving. And to keep more damage from happening, you're putting on this good girl image. And I'm sorry, I'm not buying it.
it's also been wonderful. It's also been awesome to have people just like observing your journey. You know what I mean? Like I really like that, and I think that'll be really good content. I mean, it's something I have to do anyway. It gives me an outlet. It's like a journal for me. Honestly, vlogging is like journaling. Like this right now is journaling. I just kind of verbal diarrhea, for lack of a better term, and I just kind of let it all out. And that's always been something very therapeutic for me. And it's easier than talking one on one, face to face with like let's say a therapist. I know you guys.
Foodie, you've been trying to avoid therapy for years. You don't like the idea of being in an office with a therapist one on one. You don't like the idea of being in a room with just one person who is not a abuser, who is trained to help you, knowledgeable to help you. You don't like the idea of paying for therapy. For years, you used your own YouTube channel as a form of therapy when it's really not that therapeutic because you got on YouTube airing out all your dirty laundry, telling us all your problems, all of your struggles, all of your pain, and yet there's been no healing in any of it. Therapy is not supposed to be a hug box where the person listening to you agrees with everything you have to say and backs up anything about you that's toxic. Therapy is when you go talk to somebody and they help you work out your issues and they tell you a lot of hard truths that you don't want to hear. And they tell them to you because they're trying to break through the toxicity and help you change it and get rid of it. You expect people to come on your channel and listen to you and pay you versus you going to somebody and paying them for their time. That's the greedy wench in you. I want people to pay me to sit here and listen to all of my hurts and all of my problems and all of my complaining about problems that I have absolutely no inclination to change. I don't want to go and actually fix what's wrong. You've been trying to use YouTube as therapy for years. Nothing good has come of it. Nothing good at all. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So using your YouTube channel as therapy and expecting that will solve your problems when after all this time nothing has changed, that's insane. Now, if you want to break that cycle of insanity, you got to do something different. You got to take a different approach. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. But as someone that I've struggled with BED, I can say with all certainty, just by looking at you and listening to you and watching you for as long as I have, madam, what you need is inpatient, strict, locked down inpatient. You need to be in a facility with people who will tell you no, where your portion sizes can be monitored. You can't sneak any kind of food that you're not supposed to have. You need to go to therapy. You need to see some doctors. You need to check out all your health problems. But you do need to be in inpatient. That's the only thing that will work. If you are not an inpatient, if you are at home or some other place where you have access to the temptations, you will go to the temptations because you have no self control. So, since you have no self control, you need to be somewhere where somebody else can take control for you until you have the control. And that's just my point of view.
It's not therapy and not replacement for therapy, but when it comes to just letting it out, this is the outlet I like to choose for that.
By the way, Chantal, YouTube is not your diary, okay? It is not your diary. You shouldn't dump all your problems on people and expect sympathy and pity. Keep in mind that the people who watch you, they have their own problems. They have their own struggles. Okay? They come on a YouTube to be entertained and maybe forget about their problems for a while. So it's kind of unfair to get on your channel and sit there and gripe and complain and bitch about everything in your life constantly, constantly, when there's nothing but a barrage of negativity all the time. It's unfair to dump on your audience like that. And on top of that, expect them to pay you for that negativity, which is exactly what you do. You expect them to pay you so that you can dump all your garbage on their doorstep. How about not dumping your garbage on their doorstep? How about just not doing that? How about taking your dirty laundry, putting it in the clothes washer and washing it and cleaning it yourself and give people something to smile about?
So, all right, guys. On that happy note, um, let's get to. I'll end the video here. So stay tuned for the next videos. Oh yeah, where was it? I never finished a thought. There was a troll account, Chantal's unfinished sentence, and you know what? It's so accurate.
That's great. Somebody made a troll account saying Chantal's unfinished sentence. That's fabulous. Whoever thought of that, I applaud you. That's amazing because she never finishes a freaking sentence. She'll start a sentence, she'll start a thought, and then she'll shove some food in her mouth and then not finish it. That's great.
Accurate. I can't fault you guys. I swear, I swear, you guys know me better than I know myself sometimes.
Well,
Sometimes.
how can we not know you? You'll remember back in the day, y'all, when she'd sit there and stream for like 12 hours a day? Yeah, I remember those days. I hated those days. Where was my life during that whole period?
All right. So that being said, yeah, the couples vlogs really were keeping me in shape in a way, because we would go out all the time and do things that involved a lot of walking.
Ma'am, ma'am, 10 minutes of walking is not a lot of walking. Now, if you are walking all day or half the day or doing a marathon, I'd say, yeah, you're right. But 10 minutes, come on now. I walk more when I do my housework.
So doing fun activities on top of the daily exercise, I really want to get back to that. It's going to be so painful at first. You know,
Of
Salah
course it
said that to me.
will.
He's like, you're gonna really suffer for about a week, but you'll be so happy and it'll get easier, you know. And that's the kind of support I I love in a partner. And I'm just so grateful. You know, I feel like I'm bragging, but I'm not really. I'm just, you know, giving credit where it's due. And because I know you guys don't really get to see a lot of the behind the scenes of our relationship.
That's we don't need to see behind the scenes because even if we could, there'd be nothing to really see. There'd be nothing to see. It's been months. You and Salah don't have any kind of energy between you. Every encounter is always awkward. It's so obvious the two of you are not emotionally or intimately connected. Yet you insist on continuing this false act of being in a marriage. Chantal, do you think the audience, we don't have eyes? We don't notice things? That we're completely blind? We're not. Here's what's up. You had a fantasy of being married. You wanted someone to play house with. You know, like I be the wife and you be the husband. So you chose Salah and you set up some sort of paid arrangement with him for him to come on camera and be nice to you. And so he did because he got paid, he got compensated. And that's all it's been all this time is a paid arrangement. It's not been a real relationship. It's just been a relationship on camera for YouTube. And that's a whole different animal. I think, though, along the way, you got the wires crossed. And somewhere in your head, you honestly thought it was a real relationship. It's not. He doesn't love you. He doesn't care. He can't stand you. He's always throwing the silent shade at you, and you're so stupid you don't pick it up, or if you do, you ignore it. But you could leave Kuwait tomorrow and never come back, and he wouldn't shed a single tear, other than maybe over the fact that the free, easy money is gone. But he wouldn't miss you. He's probably dying to put your butt on a plane and send you back home just so he can have his freedom back. But this isn't a real relationship. It's just a working relationship and not a very good one. It's not led to tremendous amounts of profit or fortune for either one of you. And yet you're so stupid, you won't come home and fix your problems. You'd rather stay in Kuwait and make things worse. And you know what? I love that for you. I love how stupid you are.
But I just want you to know he is very supportive. And, you know, when I eat bad things or I don't exercise, that's on me. I'm stubborn and, you know, I do what I want to do despite people's um, advice or good intentions. And that's a downfall. That's not a good personality trait. I
You know, what she's saying is true. She is in control of what she eats. She determines what she puts into her mouth. But at the same time, Salah, you can't escape your responsibility in this either. You really can't because you're part of the problem. You are helping to enable her. Because Salah could walk away from her anytime he wanted. He could say, enough, enough with this nonsense. I'm out of here. But he sticks around for the paycheck. And to get that paycheck, if she says, go out at 2 in the morning and get me some food, he will. If she says, go to the door and get my takeout, he will. He'll do it just to shut her up. So he's helping to enable the problem versus walking away from this whole crazy deal they got going on.
you know need to learn to listen to people that know better and want good for me. So something else to work on. Let's add it to the list. All right, guys, thank you for listening to me ramble on, and there's going to be a lot more where that came from.
Okay, so that's pretty much the video. Let's see if there are any comments. Okay, I'm not playing her intro. It annoys me. Okay, DJ says, who are you trying to kid? You're not going to stop eating crap. Besides, you're only 200 pounds away from being on my 600-pound life. Well, I honestly think maybe she's less than 100 pounds away. That's just my opinion. Reasons Deranged says, OMG, just stop lying. We've been hearing this over and over and over. I don't know if the people that are posting are subscribers to Chantal or just people in general. But Chantal, you've been lying to people for years. You've been making empty promises for years. And a person's word, I compare it to having good credit and bad credit. When your word is worth a lot, you've got good credit. When you've gone against your word, then your words are worth nothing and you've got bad credit. And right now, as far as your word, you're bankrupt. So is it any wonder that people are not believing you? They're so not believing you that they have no faith in you. They have no trust in your word anymore. And if you want that back, you're going to have to work really hard for people to have that faith again. Let's see. Uh, Nana Naomi says, why even bother making a weigh-in video when you're just going to use heavy filters and manipulate the scale? You did that before and it took over 95 pounds off the scale for Pete's. And then the filters make you look like a different person daily. Just go and weigh yourself at a junkyard like Tammy and Amy instead of just hiding from the true state of your own body. Anything narrated by you is untrustworthy. Agreed. How about getting one of those old school medical scales. Y'all remember what I'm talking about, like the ones that are you gotta stand on them and they have, like, the metal weights at the top? You can't manipulate those. I don't know what the weight limit on those things is, but that would give a more true idea of her weight than any kind of a bathroom scale because a lot of, you know, bathroom scales you can buy for the home, they do have a weight limit. So I'm wondering how she's manipulating the scale that she gets on. Sasha says, lies. You've been watching the crap show too. Yep, she has. Let's see. There's a lot of people saying best wishes. I hope you stick to it. People recommending keto. So that's it for the comments. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I'm going to go ahead and post it and then go on to bed. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.